Welcome, ladies and gents, to the new Tesla Model Y standard range review. So this is the rear wheel drive, smaller battery. It's an LFP battery, has more cycles than the long range version or the performance, and you can charge it up to 100% always. Now this is a 300 horsepower, and I think it was 7.9 seconds 0 to 100. We have 60 kilowatt hour batteries. It's like slightly less usable, I forgot from top of my head, but I'm gonna put a link in the video description. Now I want to thank ASR. It's a Renta Tesla Zagreb. It's a company I've been working for. Huge thanks to Davor, the owner, for giving this car for a review. He also gave me the first Model 3 a few years back, and I bought my own Model 3. So he also gave me the Model Y long range that I've tested. I'm testing this one now. He also has a new long range, which has supposed to have a more softer suspension. This does not have that. But I gotta say, I'm super impressed with the standard range model. Now, I haven't been recently driving the long range, so you know, it's hard to say if this car is lighter than the long range. Feels, I would say, similar, but when the Model 3, there's you can feel the difference that the car is lighter than the long range. So the standard range, or just the Model 3 now, is just lighter and more comfortable. This, it feels heavy. Maybe it's slightly lighter, but I don't feel the difference as much regarding the comfort. Now also, this is the car with no parking sensors, so it is relying on these. It's interesting, it did not recognize the wheelchair on the cameras there, but it's relying on visual or the vision, Tesla vision system, or the cameras for the Autopilot to determine distance of objects, how close they are, and it's mimicking the ultrasonic sensors. There's some sort of waves. It definitely looks different what I'm used to in my Model 3, which has parking sensors. And you know, this system is not perfect. It's a work in progress, as everything else in Tesla, but you know, it's okay so far. I guess it's something you need to get used to. Now, my regular audience knows there's a detour here, there's a construction, so I'm just using a different route. So, but it's good. It's going to give us a little bit more driving, and you can see my power consumption. Now also this is supposed to be very power efficient, so we're getting actually the power is dropping. Since charge we have 12.5 kilowatts per 100 kilometers. It was around 11 before. It's starting to drop. We're gonna check it out later. Now if you heard some sounds in the back on that cobblestone, there is few stuff in the back, and as you saw, the top shelf has been removed. That also sounds acts as a extra soundproof inside, so it's better to keep it inside, but the owner removed it, and he has some stuff in the back, so there might be some rattle sounds, just so you can know that the car is really not noisy. It's actually way better than my Model 3. This is made in China, if I'm not mistaken, model, or maybe it was yeah, I think it was from China. I thought for a moment I saw a VIN number from the Berlin, but I'm not sure now. It doesn't really matter. Okay, what else? Well, recuperation in the Model Y felt stronger in the first long range I've been driving. In this one, it feels more maybe like my car. Maybe it's related to the weight of the car. Now, when I was driving my Model 3 long range, I'm always driving in the chill because you have 450 horsepower, and in this car I'm gonna put it to chill now. So yeah, the car is more relaxed, but in general I'm used to driving around 250, 300 horsepower version. So for this car, or the standard range models, doesn't matter if it's a 3 or Y, I prefer to drive in the standard mode. Now, cool feature, new update, you can long press the left scroll wheel button, and you can just switch here, and that gives you the option to change your driving modes on driving without going into the menus. Well, let me just check here something. I hope I didn't miss my yeah, actually I missed it. See, this is not my standard route, so I got a little bit distracted here. I might turn around here. I noticed that I'm getting off course. You can see how the car is reacting. You got the camera standard here. Okay. I have to zoom out so now I can see the where I need to go. Yeah, also now the interior, I gotta say everything is the same as the Model 3 that I own, but I like the fact that the standard range, or the rear wheel drive, let's call it that way, the rear wheel drive has a premium sound system and the premium interior, which the Model 3 doesn't have. So I personally prefer to have a premium speakers, way better, because I have a friend that has a standard range plus model, and definitely the speakers are slightly less loud and don't have that nice deep sound, if you know what I mean. Now, first impressions when I've sit in this rear-wheel drive Model Y were excellent. I mean, the car drives so nicely and it's super fast. Not fast as the long range or the performance, but if you're one of those people who really never use the instant acceleration, this is gonna be fine for you. Honestly, I have a long range, and the only time I punch the car fast or drive it in the standard is when I showcase the car to someone who's new, but in reality I don't really use that much of the feature. Now, Autopilot is working great. One thing I really dislike, it's forcing the automatic long beam and the wipers. So sometimes the wipers are not perfect in Tesla. They turn on when it's not raining, and then with raining it doesn't turn on. Oh, went to 90 here. So this doesn't have the FSD or the advanced autopilot. So the owner, just a little advertising him again, has the long range with the advanced autopilot, a red one, and he has a blue one, which is a new long range. So, and this standard range, he also has a standard range Model 3, the early one, also black car with chrome. So just so you know, at this moment, if you're looking to rent a car, he's going to be based in Zagreb and Split now. So if you're a tourist, or if you're Croatian and you're looking to rent a Tesla, check that link in the video description. Also, if you're looking for a new Tesla, you like this review, there's also a link in the video description. Consider using my referral. We get both points that you can use in the Tesla store, or for free supercharging, kilometers, miles, or software upgrades. So I'm gonna punch it here all the way. Man, this is fast enough. But one thing I did notice in the rear wheel drive, there's this bitch sound. Not only when you're accelerating, but when you're driving, there's this bitch sound. Now let me slow down a little bit. When it's recuperating, and when you're holding acceleration. Now this sound here, the soundproof, is actually quite good. I'm just gonna go to the chill. I'm gonna accelerate once again. So this is slow. I mean, it's okay. Still, it's fast, but it's good. Definitely better than the Volkswagen ID4 or something like that. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. If you've driven a Tesla already, you know this is a excellent EV and car in general. Now the suspension, yeah, it could be better. This is on standard wheels, but I think the owner actually kind of let me check here. Now service, yeah, he inflated the tires a little bit more than necessary, so it might feel a little bit stiffer for me, but I think it should be more comfortable if the tire pressure was right. What else to say? I love the fact that this is such a roomy car. You're sitting taller. In the Model 3, you're just sitting too low. It's like half laying position. For me, as a tall person, I'm a 2-meter tall person, or 6.6 in feet. This is a natural sitting position. In the Model 3, it's just a bit low. And personally, I wanted to get the Model Y, but I don't know. I'm not financially there right now. I have other priorities. So I was planning on getting one, but now I think I'm gonna skip that. But we're gonna see. I might change my mind. In the back, there's more headroom rather than in the Model 3. It was always an issue. So you can tap here if you're new to Tesla. So the Tesla will decrease the speed to the speed limit. Now, I already did review the Model Y, so if you want to check that review, go take a look. So overview on this car is excellent. You're sitting taller, have excellent overview. The rear mirror view is a little bit narrow, but you can see further behind you, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Personally, it's quite good. Tap again here. So yeah, I gotta say, I really love Tesla. This model is also, the Chinese or Shanghai cars are built the best my Model 3 was from Fremont, so you know, slightly few gaps and maybe paint quality issues, but generally these cars are, you know, almost bulletproof. You know, knock on wood, these cars are very reliable, especially if you get the LFP battery. They have more charging cycles, they're gonna last longer if you are planning to keep the car. Also the Model Y, and the reason why I was looking to upgrade was the hatch opening, or the fifth door. It's way more practical, you can store easier stuff. Of course, this is the largest cargo volume in an SUV, I think it like almost in the whole car industry, or like the top first three. It's just excellent. I really, you know, if you're looking for an SUV, this is it. And you know, some people such as myself might be discouraged by the fact that, you know, this is range limited. Now, I personally drive from Zagreb to Zadar in Croatia a lot, and I can do in one charge the trip is a little bit less than 300 kilometers, like 285 or 295, and it's just the fact, the car knows here's the GPS. So let me just switch tracks here. There's people who want to drive faster. I'm just driving according to speed limits. Yeah, there's small range difference between the long range and the standard range, but it's just enough for me in that 300 kilometer trip to need to stop and charge. So for this, I'd like to test this, but I'm not sure if the owner will have the time for that because he's renting these cars. I'd be really interested to see, you know, could I get that trip in one charge, because the reason why I don't want to stop and supercharge or charge in general, because I have free charging for now still in my neighborhood, so I want to use the, you know, free juice and in that way save some money. Supercharging prices went with inflation a little bit higher than they were before. They were actually I would say dirt cheap before. These days, you know, they're not that cheap, but you know, if you have free charging, why not use it? Cutting this in, our power consumption is dropping around 13 kilowatts, so very super efficient. So we're in chill. So switching to standard, brake. Brakes are good. And well, pedals, and so let me see comfort here now. The steering in the standard gives you a little bit more resistance. Maybe it's just a placebo effect because I'm in a new car. Although I do a lot of car reviews, so yeah, it's just maybe they always change something in these cars, because these cars are not changed, like upgraded once a year like in the legacy car industry. They are upgraded every quarter, so every quarter, even sometimes less, they do some changes, they do some upgrades. And this is the reason why I love Tesla, but also I think Tesla should be a little bit more transparent in this changes, so the people who, you know, want something that's newer could wait a little bit. But again, that's then counterproductive for them and for their sales, because people are then waiting on something and they want to just sell the cars quickly, and they've ramped up the production so much. They've fully stocked their parking lots in factories that they need to sell these cars, so they've kind of lowered the price, and today this is the best bargain. You know, the rest of the car industry, the legacy car industry, the other EVs are not competitive in price or performance, and you still have huge advantage with a supercharger. Of course, you can use other networks like Ionity or similar, but you know, Tesla supercharger network is the best experience. Also, I believe that Tesla was mentioning, but that might be delayed, will install the new 4680 batteries in the standard range models actually soon, in a few months. This car, I think, forgot it was a bit older. I think it was made last year. Now it's 2023, so it might be made late 2022, but I'm not gonna go into those details. Yeah, but overall, I'll have to wrap the video up. This is such an amazing car, and I don't think you're gonna regret if you even go for the standard range model. You see the beautiful headlights. Let's just switch to automatic. Now there's another Tesla. So a little con here, and it's something for Tesla to consider upgrading with software updates. The screen should now switch to dark mode. That's what I would personally prefer, especially in the tunnels, because then this glares you a lot. They should install some ambient lights in the interior. That would be a nice addition. And they should add cornering fog lights. That's something. This car doesn't have the fog lights. I'm not really sure why they've in the Model 3 back then removed the fog lights in the standard range models, but it's something you can upgrade yourself, and it could be enabled in the software. I know that for a fact. So yeah, this light steering is still very stiff. It might be the reason because of the weight of the car, but still nothing that's bad or anything like that. So yeah, actually I can go a little bit forward, and yeah, so if you're interested, this is still the let me just show you here. Okay, this is definitely the number from China, and vehicle information. So premium sound system, as you can see, full self-driving computer, heat pump, lithium iron phosphate battery, so LFP, and AMD Ryzen inside. A low voltage battery is a lithium iron now, and the rest is here. So I'm not really sure why Tesla hasn't switched to 5G connection yet, but I guess be a little bit more expensive. Yeah, that's the owner named it is Zorro. So Zorro, yeah, Zorro, the Spanish musketeer that's like a phantom or something. It's pretty good. Yeah, and what else here? Let me just check our power consumption. So since charge 13, and you can see here 14.3. So this is very efficient. My long range is not this efficient always. So I'm really impressed. For such a huge SUV, this is such an efficient car, and that's one of also the benefits of Tesla. So since last charge, you can see our discharge here. We're actually in the green zone. I'm saying this because I'm never in the green zone. I'm always in the orange. So I guess I'm driving a bit faster than what Tesla is expecting me, and these cars are more efficient every year or every quarter with all the changes they do. I think here we have games and so on, so I'm not going to go through that. I'm going to wrap the video. Once again, if you're interested in renting this car, check the video description, and huge thanks to the owner for lending me this car for a review. I gotta say, I'm really tempted to consider this car as my next car. I'll see if I can get it for a test drive from Zagreb to Zadar to see if it would fit my needs. So there you go. Everyone, if you like the review, once again, give it a like, share it, do subscribe for more Tesla content and EVs in general. I do also ICE cars. Don't get angry, it's just my job. So car focused channel. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and happy Tesla charging. Bye.